Going to Old Trafford to face Manchester United is never an easy game, is it? Well, apart from that lovely 5-0 of course. Now, banter aside, we saw how we struggled against the Red Devils last season, both in the Premier League and in the FA Cup, as we failed to win in any of those three encounters. And this time it looked like the Reds were going to have a similar issue against the United side, looking to redeem itself after their loss to Brighton. But guess what? Even that couldn't stop the slot train as the Reds marched on at Old Trafford, stunning our rivals with 2 goals in the first half before going back in the second period to deliver a Mo Salah dagger. Now, we remember people saying that it was only a friendly game when we won against them by the same scoreline during pre-season, right? So what exactly did happen during the game, and how did Arne Slot's side march so easily to our 9th point of the season? Well, that's what we're here to discuss today, so do hit that like and subscribe button, and let's jump straight into our analysis. So for the third consecutive game, not including the first half of the Ipswich Town encounter of course, Arne Slot kept his faith in the same starting 11, once again following the famous saying, never change a winning side. Alisson started in the goal with Van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate as the centre-back partnership. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson obviously kept their places as the fullbacks, with the same midfield trio of Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai. The front line, just like the rest of the starting 11, remained unchanged, with Mo Salah, Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota. And by the way, while we're at it, we would love to thank Manchester United for letting us play with an extra man during the first half. We'll let you know who he is later on. So we can all agree that the Reds have started the game kind of slow, allowing United to keep the ball and focus their attacks on the left-hand side with Rashford, Dalot and Bruno. Now, our opposition managed to do so because, similar to the Brentford game, Liverpool's pressing was not as intense as we are used to seeing. You can notice here the amount of passes Manchester United made with their defensive third. They even managed to have more ball possession than us, which isn't something usual to see from them, but also unusual to Arne Slot, who averaged the second highest possession percentage so far this campaign with 61.52%. And again guys, this was all because our players were not bothered by pressing United high up the pitch. Now, we heard all this talk about how aggressive Arne Slot likes to win the ball back high, and how his pressing is similar to Jurgen Klopp's that we all loved and enjoyed. Now we're coming here to say that the Reds are not pressing enough. Well, there's the trick that we need to explain, so here is how. You see, we talked about Slot's Liverpool becoming a more flexible side with the ball, using different build-up shapes from the 3-3-4, 4-2-4 and 3-2-5. We saw it all so far under the new manager. However, this flexibility isn't limited to in-possession aspect of things. See, lining up in a 4-2-4 shape out of possession, Arne Slot's men were more than happy to allow Manchester United to circulate the ball in their own third during the build-up phase. The first line of press, outside of some movement here and there, was basically static, allowing the opposition all the time and space in the world. But here's where it gets interesting. Once Manchester United's players stopped circulating the ball in their area and went on to play the first progressive pass, Liverpool's second line of pressing, consisting of Gravenberch, McAllister and one of Konate or Van Dijk, were the first to make the jump and intercept the ball. You can see here that the majority of the interceptions we made were in the middle third. Here, the plan was clear. Let United build up from the back, but once they decide to pass the ball to Mainoo or Casemiro, make the jump immediately and regain intensity. This didn't only let the Reds win the ball while United's players were charging forward and leaving spaces in behind, but that static front four we were talking about was also ready to pounce on the chance, providing even more favourable conditions for the Reds to take advantage of. See, we gave United the first warning with that Trent goal that got disallowed due to offside. The ball was intercepted in the middle of the pitch before Gravenberch received the ball and drove past all of the United midfield before laying the ball to Diaz, who provided the assist for Trent. Unfortunately though, Salah had a touch that deemed the goal offside. But 34 minutes into the game and a certain Manchester United player fell straight into Slot's pressing trap. Yes, it's the same player we said that we should be thankful for Manchester United to allow us play with an extra man. It's Casemiro, and we believe he's been a great number 6 for us during the game. See, the goal came with Gravenberch once again intercepting a pass from Casemiro before driving the ball and letting Salah sprinkle his final creativity, setting Luis Diaz for the opener. 7 minutes later, Luis Diaz returned to haunt Manchester United fans, and Casemiro specifically, after pressing the Brazilian from behind to help the Reds regain possession before United launched their attack. Again, with the ball reaching Mo Salah, the Egyptian showed once again what type of creative monster he is, providing his 4th assist of the season in 3 games, with Luis Diaz adding his 3rd goal of the campaign. The second half continued in the exact same manner, with Liverpool keeping their pressing traps deep in midfield rather than high up the pitch. Take a look here, you can see how the initial 4-man pressing line was happy to let United have the ball. But once that long pass was played to Missouri on the right hand side, the second pressing line led by McAllister instantly made the jump, which led to our team regaining possession. United was circulating possession comfortably in their own third, but once they decided to play the ball through that initial pressing wall, McAllister was there to make the jump on Kobbie Mainoo. And just like that, Maka outmuscled the young midfielder, throwing him to the ground and leaving him there before passing the ball to Szoboszlai, who provided the assist to our Egyptian king. The rest of the game was kind of a walk in the park, despite United having 1 or 2 chances to score. Yes, we could have added a 4th and a 5th after Salah's goal, but we still felt there was something lacking from the Reds. See, this United side thrives in chaotic matchups. That's why they gave us problems last season, as we accepted to partake in those transition-based style of play. This game, although we saw a different approach out of possession that was 100% efficient, we felt that the team still didn't learn from last season's games, and instead of slowing down the tempo and controlling possession, we were ready to play United's game with back and forth football. Don't get us wrong, we can't really ask for any more from the team. After all, nothing gets better than a 3-0 thrashing of United on their own turf. But we would have loved to see us dominate the game and let them submit to our style for the majority of the match. Now moving on to the 2 players we would want to talk about. The first is obviously Mo Salah, who managed to score in his 7th consecutive encounter against Manchester United. We can say that he is the devil for them, right? See, many were speculating that Salah might leave this summer, including us after we saw some reports. But it's easy to forget just how good of a football player he is, isn't it? And for that, we should all apologise to Mo because he simply is one of a kind. His physical levels are still up there with the best in the world, and his creativity looks to be improving in this Arne Slot system. And let us not talk about his finishing, that is getting back to his best this season. We can say confidently, Edwards and his team should consider giving Salah a pen with a blank paper to get a new contract, because it looks like the Egyptian is like fine wine, he's only getting better with time. Now the second player that we would like to discuss is Ryan Gravenberch. The Dutchman had plenty of question marks around him last season, and during his campaign with the club, refusing to sign a new number 6 after Martin Zubimendi, everyone had their doubts about Gravenberch's ability to fill that role. However, by the looks of it, Grav is growing into that position game by game, and against United, we saw a brilliant defensive performance from him. Not only was he behind Trent's ruled out goal and Diaz's opener, but he also denied the opposition any central progression, winning 2 out of his 2 tackles, all while making 4 interceptions. If Grav keeps on improving and performing consistently this way, then it makes perfect sense why the Reds have decided not to sign another midfielder this window. Of course, Luis Diaz also needs a mention, as he was deadly during the game, and if Lucho can keep on finding his shooting boots consistently like this, then Arne Slot has got himself exactly the type of winger that he wants. With 9 points out of 9, and with Arsenal being the first title contenders to hit a stumbling block, Liverpool are top of the league alongside Manchester City. Don't get us wrong, the season is still long, but with the team improving from one game to another, we can only be optimistic of what is ahead this campaign. So what do you think about this out-of-possession approach Arne Slot adopted against Manchester United? Do you think we'll keep seeing this flexibility throughout the campaign? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed today's analysis, why not hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.